Right, so this is the tutorial for the economy system, and I will just quickly start with the hardest part of this whole tutorial, which is the setup for the weapons. So as you can see, I've tried to set up this G17, but I initially failed. So let me go ahead and start off with this AK-47. So I already have a G17. The info is already set up. So for the info, make sure that you properly reference all of these parts. So there's a base part, so I have to give a dictionary for the base index or key, and there's a details part, so I give a dictionary for the details key, and the name is G17, etc. Everything is self-explanatory. So first of all, I suggest that you start off with this model. Okay. And here. So now this will definitely work because this model is already set up. So now you should go ahead and I will use this model for like just an example. Ungroup and then G17. And I will just copy and paste all of these into this G17. Alright, so next, make sure you kind of center it to make sure that the old center is actually the middle of the whole gun. It's close enough, just for comparison. Yeah, so next, make sure you leave the not needed parts and group these into, or no, you can use the old models that I have. So I'm only going to use two parts, so I'll delete this one. And the bolt, or the magazine will be a separate part, so it will be this part called end, I guess. Or no, mag. So I will probably move it a bit, size it as well. And then make sure you weld these using a tool called Easy Weld, or an alternate here. So as you can see, there's a weld. So it's quite odd. So now for the base, make sure you delete all of these old parts and put in so just simply weld these together again, join in place, and it should be working. Rename this to G17. Make sure all the parts are correct. Mag. Okay. Now go ahead and try to see if it works. Looks like I have accidentally messed it up a bit. No, it was. Ah, so I had the old name still in. Oh, jeez. Should work now, though, right? So, yeah, as you can see, the models are there. And if you properly place it, alright, you might have to do a bit of editing for the hitboxes, or like the clicking areas. But eventually you'll be able to figure it out. So that's how you set up a weapon. Make sure to work off the AK-47 because it already works. And yeah, so next we can go on to the let's say station. So I have the AK-47 set up already, so I'll be using that one for the rest of this tutorial, since I made sure that it has everything correct for like this video. So next, make sure you go to config and you have this whitelist dictionary set up using these whitelist types. So if you leave it empty, anyone can use or pick up boxes. And these are just the settings for the whole system. Right. So I will show you how it quickly works. So in order to actually like deliver something, you have to first make a weapon. Give me a second. And finish. So as you can see, I created a weapon and a box with the name of the weapon is made. So what I would do is go ahead and take box and take boxes already, or once you click the proximity prompt, you get all of the boxes that are in this pile. And here is the target. Make sure to go to the area and you will have it delivered. So the targets are customizable. As you can see that there are different targets for this assembly station. And these are the targets for all of the assembly stations. And this is the target for the Defender, which I'll go over later. So that's it for the system, station system. So now I will go over to the I'll go ahead and start talking about the vendor system. So the vendor system is very simple. It's just an alternate to the to the assembly station delivery. So first of all, you go to this dummy and go ahead and press proximity prompt. So you're automatically assigned a random number of like items, and you have to go ahead and go to. As you can see, I delivered 2 colas. So again, I'm delivering 2 colas. So essentially what this does is for the shop system, which I'll go over later, it supplies it if you choose that setting. otherwise there will be infinite supply. So I made a supply system, which was very simple. Once you supply certain items to the vendors, um, this store will have supply which people can buy. So as you can see, once you click on an item, you zoom into it, and as you can see, there's 0 left because there is no supply, and you can't really buy this. Back. Since I delivered 4 bottles of cola, I can buy this. And as you can see, I've bought it. Alright. Right, so now I'll go over to the setup of both of these systems. So they should be here. So these are the tasks. So these are the items. You can be randomly assigned any task. And for this example task, I only chose 2 cola bottles, and the reward is 300 of the currency. And then go back to config, and yeah, that should be it. And make sure you change the DSS key to one you want, and make sure you don't share it with anyone. So now I think I will go over how to set up an item. So for each item, make sure you duplicate one of these parts. And so for each part, you have a click detector, right? Yeah, so there's a click detector, which sees if the player has clicked the item. And there is a part representing where a player couldn't click. And finally, there's a cam. Make sure you add a cam part and test it if the camera angle is to your liking. And also make sure to position this to the place you like it. So for all these stations and shops, you have to duplicate the whole folder in order for the thing to work. And yeah, this is just the part where you can trigger the whole opening of the shop. Right, so next thing you need to do is head over to config, and I'll finish explaining everything there. So make sure you set up the default payment, the wait time, which is the time between payments. Make sure you check these because these show you how to properly format everything so it can work. And yeah, so this is just a currency, this minimum money amount of money you need to drop for the whole thing to work, etc. And make sure you set this to a valid team. So as you can see, police shows up because it's a valid team. Because this is where criminals and people who steal from the bank, whenever they steal from the bank, they will, those people will be alerted, and they will have a GUI which hovers over the player. If you want to disable this GUI for some reason, you can just put this visible to false, and it should work. We need to is only go over to this robbery. As you can see, these are just a bunch of models showing the money. And this is the amount of money left. Just leave this on zero. It's automatically set. This is the steal area where a person can. So essentially, I made it so that if you continue to be in the steal area, you will keep stealing money. But once you die or you leave, you will stop stealing money. Once you escape from this area with money, if you die, you will lose all of the money you stole. But if you survive for a certain amount of time, which I'll show where to set it up, you won't get the money. So this is our regeneration, or time for money to regenerate. So this is how much money will regenerate. So 0.05 is essentially 5%. So 5% of the original money will return every 1 second. This is the maximum amount of money the bank can hold. This is the money, how much money a person can steal per 0.10 seconds. It's the wait time. How much time do you have to wait to claim the money? And this is the player requirement, which is the requirement for how many players need to be in the game for the robbery system to work. And if I'm not wrong, that should be essentially it for this whole system. As you can see, it's sort of like GTA 5, and you get to steal money. So there's a timer and there's a counter of how much money you stole. As you can see, there was a quick frame of showing the sign above my head, which shows that I'm the person who stole money from the bank. Alright. So yeah, that's it. Wait, finally, the last section is the GUI. As you can see, it's here. So you can either choose to drop money, or you can choose to send it. Here's the bell, and here's the button. You have to put the exact name of the player in order for this to. And that is literally it, and that's how you set up the whole system. Thank you for watching.